instant classic in sack last night. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney. One name, all passion. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. I'm from the Bay Area, and I've been a diehard A's fan since 1981. This isn't just another A's podcast. This is the most informative and insightful show on the A's, period. We cover the A's every single day, breaking down games, delivering the latest team news, and giving you deep, thoughtful analysis you will not find anywhere else. If it's happening in Sacramento or in Las Vegas, we got you covered. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. And please hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. Not only do we cover the A's every single day, but now we are giving you instant shows after every single game. Check out the Locked On A's postgame show approximately 15 to 30 minutes after the final out right here on the Locked On A's podcast feed, as well as streaming on the Locked On A's YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On A's postgame show. And if you would like to be a guest and talk some A's baseball on the postgame show, hit me up at X at Locked On A's, or you can email me at lockedonathletics@gmail.com. Now, I will be going to the game tonight and tomorrow afternoon, so there will be no postgame show on either day, but we'll be back with post-game shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as the A's face the Yankees this weekend. I will drop a show tomorrow evening breaking down games 2 and 3 of the Mariners series and hoping to get a crossover episode with the host of Locked On Yankees previewing this weekend's series against New York. We have a great show for you today. The A's are 20-16 right now, one game out of first place in the AL West, and currently hold a spot in the playoffs as a wild card. They're 4 games over 500, and for a team that most predictions had them better than last year, but still well under 500, am I surprised by this start? I will get into that in our last segment. I do want to give you some updates on injuries and rehab assignments such as Zack Gelof, JT Ginn, and Mikel Otanez. That's a bit later. While last night was a huge win, the A's run it right back tonight at 7:05 p.m. as they face Emerson Hancock of the Seattle Mariners. Emerson, who, you ask? I hear you. I will break down Emerson Hancock in just a bit. But first, while we have all had a chance to settle down, digest last night's win, well, at least me, let's break down what actually happened in the game. But first, today's episode is brought to you in part by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. A's fans, buckle in, because if you missed last night's game between the A's and the Mariners, I feel sorry for you. This wasn't just baseball. This was theater. This was an instant classic in Sacramento that had everything: drama, power, momentum swings, clutch moments, and a crowd that brought the heat. Last night in Sacramento, the A's didn't just play a game. They set the tone for the entire damn series. And they did it in the most dramatic, gut-punching, rip your heart out and show it to you fashion possible. A walk-off winner. Jacob Wilson, rookie, under the radar, pure gamer, laced a walk-off single in the bottom of the 11th, sending the Mariners back to the clubhouse stunned and the crowd into an absolute riot. Final score, 7-6 A's, but don't let the score fool you. This was a declaration. The A's, coming off a scorching 5-2 road trip where they punked the Rangers in Arlington and handled business in Miami. Your Athletics, yes, those A's everyone keeps sleeping on, returned home to Sacktown, ready to throw punches with the first place Seattle Mariners. And folks, the A's did not disappoint. Act 1 was a statement start. Luis Severino took the hill like a man on a mission, and the early fireworks came not from the Mariners' bats, but from the A's lineup. After some first inning nerves, a hit by pitch to Brett Rooker got things cooking. Tyler Soderstrom laced a single, and Miguel Andujar brought Rooker home with a sac fly. Just like that, 1-0 A's. Bottom 2, J.J. Bleday, smooth as silk, roped a double down the right field line. Jacob Wilson, that man, followed with a bullet to right field. And just like your favorite diner order, that two-piece combo had the A's up 2-0 in a blink. We were hitting Bryce Miller like we had the cheat codes. But Act 2, Seattle struck back. Now give the Mariners credit. They didn't roll over. The top of the third was rough. A walk parade from Severino loaded the bases with trouble. Polanco single to score. Ryland Thomas and big man Rowdy Tellez made us pay with a double down the right field line. Followed up by Master Booney and Williamson singles. The Mariners dropped a 4-piece on us in that inning, and suddenly it's 4-2 Seattle. But don't blink, because in the bottom of the 4th, Shea Langeliers said, "Not on my watch," and launched a moonshot to left. Solo bomb, game back within 1. And after Kurtz, Urias, and Butler stitched together a 2-out rally, the A's tied it up at 4, like it was scripted for Hollywood. Act 3, trading blows. Severino settled. The bullpens danced. Every pitch felt like it could break the game. Langeliers once again clutch, hit a sac fly in the 7th to give the A's a 5-4 lead. But in the 8th, the M's scratched back. A blooper by Williamson, nasty, to score Cal Raleigh, and it was a tie game at 5. And man, the crowd was feeling it. Mason Miller took the rock in the 9th and was shaky, man. He walked 2 batters, but when it mattered most, he came through, struck out Cal Raleigh on the nastiest breaking ball to strand the go-ahead run. That's why Mason Miller is him. Bottom 9, 2 outs. Bleday drives one to the wall. Oh, man, and I swear the stadium thought it was gone. I thought it was gone. Inches from a walk-off. We head to extras. The nerves shot. The drama peaking. Act 4. Extra innings insanity. Top of the 10th, Mariners scratch across the ghost runner. 6-5 Seattle. The momentum tipping. Barely. Then bottom of the 10th, J.J. Bleday starts as the ghost runner at second. Jacob Wilson again. The rookie comes up and delivers a single like he's been doing this for years. Bleday scores, tie game, but wait, we're not done. Nick Kurtz walks. Luis Urias reaches on a catcher's interference. That's right, the Mariners flinched. They blinked. And now, folks, the table is set. Bases loaded. No outs. Sacktown on its feet, and the A's one swing away from sending everyone into a frenzy. And Seattle closer, one of the best in baseball, if not the best, Anthony Munoz, strikes out Butler, comes back from a 3-1 deficit to Rooker, strikes him out, and gets Tyler Soderstrom looking to extend the game. It felt like an absolute gut punch. Hogan Harris came in at the top of the 11th, and Hogan Harris hasn't been in any big spot so far this year. He fell behind 3-1, came back, struck out his guy, and got through the inning without allowing a run. Hogan Harris was masterful. Heading to the bottom of 11th, game tied at 6. Crowd still buzzing from what Hogan Harris just did in the top of the 11th. Tyler Soderstrom was the ghost runner at second, and Gio Urshela was up to bat. Gio Urshela, being the absolute pro he is, laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt, advancing Tyler Soderstrom to third base. This brought up Shea Langeliers, and Mariners manager Dan Wilson intentionally walked Shea Langeliers, which was expected. What wasn't expected and has been second guessed since, with runners at first and third and one out and JJ Bleday at the plate, he decided to walk JJ Bleday to load the bases for rookie Jacob Wilson, which again has been second guessed since the game ended. And Jacob Wilson steps in calm as ever, like this moment was waiting for him with 2 strikes. Wilson smacked a single up the middle. Bleday scores, arms raised, crowd loses its mind. Wilson tosses the helmet, teammates mob him, water coolers fly, and it is absolute pandemonium. It's not just a walk-off, it's a statement. This kid, Wilson, he doesn't blink, doesn't flinch, doesn't care about your all-star pitchers or your AL West projections. He's here to win games, and last night, he won the biggest one of the season. The vibes are real, guys. Let's not forget, this wasn't some sleepy Monday night win. This was against the division leader. This was a test, and the A's passed with fireworks. Langeliers went deep. Soderstrom and Urias kept pressure on. Mason Miller, Hogan Harris held it down like aces. And the bullpen, nails. But the MVP, yeah, it's Jacob Wilson. Not just for the game winner, but because he belongs. You can see it. You can feel it. He plays like a guy who's going to be in this lineup for the next decade. And last night, he delivered the biggest swing of the season. This game was the best of what baseball offers: tension, drama, redemption, and the kind of electric finish you remember all season. So go ahead, keep sleeping on us, keep throwing around, rebuild like it's a curse. Meanwhile, the A's are out here building moments, and most importantly, building culture. The A's are back at it tonight, and let's get into that matchup next. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now, I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Tonight, the A's draw Emerson Hancock, a former blue chip first rounder out of Georgia, who's got the physical build of a classic ace. 6'4", 213 pounds, right-handed, and wearing that I was picked number 6 overall in 2020 pedigree like a Letterman jacket. But don't let the draft status fool you. This isn't some future Cy Young walking through that door. This is a young arm still figuring out how to swim in the deep end. Recent form, Dr. Jekyll or Mr. What the hell? Let's break it down. March 31st versus the Tigers in Seattle. 2/3 of an inning, 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 1 walk, no Ks. April 17th at Cincinnati, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, no walks, 4 Ks. April 23rd at Boston, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 7 Ks. April 30th versus the Angels in Seattle, 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. After getting absolutely demolished in his first start by the Tigers, Hancock has settled in somewhat, but the results still scream work in progress. Even when he's limiting damage, it's not clean. Those 4 starts, hitters are barreling him up more than you'd want from a supposed frontline guy. He's been better recently, but his stuff has to be sharper to get through a lineup like the A's, which feast on mid-tier arms who can't finish at bats. Pitch mix? Here's the arsenal. Sinker. Uses about 44% of the time, runs it up around 94 mph. This is his bread and butter. Problem? It's often over buttered toast. His sinker comes in hard, but doesn't always have enough late movement to dodge barrels. When it flattens, it's a gift, especially for lefties looking to drive the ball the other way. Changeup he uses around 21% of the time, right around 86 miles per hour. His best off-speed weapon. It's a solid separation from his sinker and can get ugly swings, especially against lefties. But it's only effective if hitters aren't worried about the heater first, which they haven't been lately. Four-seamer, about 18% of the time, runs it up to around 94. Used up in the zone, but not enough vertical ride to miss bats. When he misses location, it gets launched. Slider, about 13% of the time, around 81 miles per hour. Slower, more of a get me over breaking ball. He uses it to change eye levels, but it's not sharp enough to put guys away. Not a chase pitch, not a swing and miss pitch. It's just kind of there. Sweeper, 5% of the time, around 79 miles per hour. The trendy pitch these days, but Hancock's version is more of a show me. He flashes it a few times per start, and it might fool a rookie or two, but it's not going to rescue him when he's behind in counts. Who's a good comp that the A's have faced? Think of Randy Vasquez of the Padres and who the A's faced in Game 3 of their 3-game set against the Padres in Sutter Health. Vasquez had a hell of an outing against us. He did well. It's a good comp, and like Vasquez, Hancock flashes stuff that should work, but doesn't always show up in games. Both have similar size, similar pitch shapes, and similar issues, command inconsistencies, sequencing problems, and the tendency to lose feel in the middle innings. You can see the starter tools, but the execution often drifts. How the A's beat them? You got to be patient early, right? Hancock wants quick ground balls with that sinker. If A's hitters force him into deep counts, he'll either leave one up or lose the zone entirely. Lefties should be able to feast tonight. That sinker change combo can break down righties, but left-handed bats like a Tyler Soderstrom, a Lawrence Butler should salivate if he misses arm side. His changeup isn't elite enough to be a real deterrent. Don't let him settle in, right? His last 2 starts got better the longer he went. If the A's jump him early, especially with aggressive base running, they can rattle him and get into that soft Mariners bullpen that got overworked last night. Bottom line, Hancock might have the frame of a future ace, but tonight we're hoping he's just another inconsistent young arm trying to survive against a scrappy A's lineup that lives to make these guys sweat. Don't buy the pedigree hype, but at the same time, don't overlook this dude either. If the A's stay disciplined, there are crooked numbers waiting to be hung. The A's counter with Jeffrey Springs, who has struggled this year, but looked great against the Rangers last week and looked great against the Mariners in the opening weekend of the year. It is critical for both pitchers to eat up some innings today because after last night's 11 innings, bullpens are taxed. But tonight is an opportunity for the A's to take the series against the Mariners. So it's a huge game. They leave last night for what it was and focus on getting to Hancock early. Now, the A's have had some injuries such as Zack Gelof, JT Ginn, and Michelle Otanez. What's going on with them? I'll tell you up next. There is nothing better than catching an MLB game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of ballpark food. And if you are looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. With last minute deals, all-in pricing, and a lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as Game Time gets closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On A's, and as the Seattle Mariners are in town, I know I can count on them to help grab tickets that meet my needs. I recently grabbed last-minute tickets for this evening's game, and Game Time had unbeatable prices, which meant more money for food and merchandise. This makes finding the best deals effortless. It filters out the fluff and highlights the top discounts in the stadium. I love that I can preview my exact seat before purchasing. No bad surprises when I get into the stadium. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. A's general manager David Forst was on A's Cast yesterday with Chris Townsend and gave us an update on some A's injuries. Let's start with the big one, right? Zack Gelof, our spark plug second baseman. The dude was this close to coming back. He was getting at bats, ramping up, and then boom, one swing in Vegas Friday night, and it's a stress reaction in his ribs. I am thinking the same thing you are. Don't worry. What is a stress reaction? David Forst did touch on that, and it turns out it's like a warning flare before a stress fracture. Imagine your ribs like a tree branch. A stress reaction is the creaking sound before the snap, and if he powered through it, we'd be talking a full-blown crack, and then we don't see him until summer's halfway done. His MRI showed his cartilage pulling away from the rib a bit. Sounds brutal, but it's manageable with rest. He'll be doing everything but swinging for the next couple of weeks. Again, all of this is according to A's GM David Forst. Timeline, you're looking at a minimum, I would say, 1 month, maybe a little bit longer. So hold off on dusting off the number 20 jerseys just yet. David Forst talked a little bit about JT Ginn as well. Remember him? Big start against the Mets, had a start in Milwaukee, then got sidelined. He's quietly rehabbing from that shoulder issue as well. He's throwing a bullpen today and then heading into a rehab game. This one's moving fast. If there are no hiccups, we could be talking about seeing JT back on the mound in an A's uniform next. Well, what's that mean for the starting rotation? Not my decision. No, I would think in that type of situation, he's looking probably to take Osvaldo Bideau's spot, but we'll see. I'm just speculating. We don't know. We don't know at all, and we don't know exactly when JT Ginn will be back, but it looks like it is moving forward rather swiftly. And finally, Michelle Otanez, who Forst did not talk about, but he's made 3 appearances in single A and triple A combined, 1 2/3 innings, 2 Ks, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs. Not exactly clean, but it's in progress, right? He's shaking off the rust after being MIA since spring training. Velocity's there. Stuff looks sharp, but command is still iffy. So yeah, the cavalry is on its way, but it's limping back a bit. Gelof's going to need time. JT is almost back. Otanez is knocking on the door. This is a stretch where we need to grind, stay afloat, and hope who we have in the lineup right now keep balling out. Speaking of balling out, The A's are 20-16. One game out of first place. Am I surprised? If you watched me at all during the offseason and coming into the season, the answer is no, not one bit. I have made this call for quite a while. I predicted the A's to win 85 games. I said they would run away with the AL West. We'll see. Now, I did make that prediction on a couple of conditions. That Lawrence Butler and Brett Rooker have to be stars that they were in the second half last year. They haven't been so far, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I also said that I expected a lot from Jeffrey Springs, which he has not delivered on as of yet. My big surprise is, and what I felt was going to be a detriment for the A's, and I was concerned about in the offseason, was Tyler Soderstrom and Jacob Wilson. I was concerned about Wilson's defense and his consistency at the plate. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I couldn't be beyond wrong about Jacob Wilson. Not only has he been a Gold Glover at shortstop, he's been one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Tyler Soderstrom, still hitting. Hasn't had the power as of late. Not worried about it. Still hitting the ball hard. Still having great at-bats. So, yeah, those two have absolutely shocked me. And going forward, when Butler becomes that guy again, which he will be, and Rooker heats up, look out. Everything else I've been pretty right on. I love Urias. I was high on Andahar, and I knew Severino would be Severino. Gunnar Hoglund, I've been high on as a prospect. I didn't think he would have that type of start his first time out and be an impact starter he has been after one start. The jury's still out on Hoglund, though. If he can continue to progress the way he has so far, look out. We're looking at something special. But right now, it's one game at a time, man, and it has been fun. The team is coming together. Their chemistry is getting there. And every day it seems like they're getting a little bit better. 7:05 tonight. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Until then, thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts.